What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers are going to have their hands full trying to navigate through these various coaches, trying to find the proper coach and the right coach for the Lakers this upcoming season, right? The Lakers cannot afford to get this wrong. The Lakers cannot afford to miss again on a head coach and end up risking another year or two, right? LeBron's only getting older. He's only getting closer to retirement. Anthony Davis, right? He's only getting older. There's also concerns about they were extremely healthy this year. What does that look like next year? I mean, hopefully, even if they're not as healthy as they were this year, hopefully at least getting into the playoffs, they will be, right? Even if they miss some games. But then you got to figure out all your rotations. You got to figure out, who's going to be on this roster that's carrying over from last season. And Lakers got their hands full, right? Rob and Jeannie and the Rambuses, right? Like, they're all going to have to figure that out. But the more that I kind of go through the head coaches that are currently available, the more that I kind of evaluate and kind of weigh the Lakers' options here, there's not really a coach that's available that really tickles my fancy, right? Like, that makes me excited for them to come on board with the Lakers, right? Whatever coach we get, obviously I'm going to support them. Obviously I'm going to, root for them. I want to see them have success. But there's not really that coach that you look at and you go, man, that's the guy, right? That's the one. Now, obviously, Tyronn Lue or like a Jason Kidd, like that could make some sense. But realistically, I don't see either of them being a real option. Said it when the conversation first arose, right? Like, Tyronn Lue, he very likely is going to stick around. Steve Ballmer's got deepest pockets in the NBA. He'll pay him. He'll give him $1 billion if if it keeps him. Probably not that, but get my point. Like, he'll pay whatever he has to pay to keep him with the Clippers for the long haul. And then look at the other side with Jason Kidd. It's like Dallas starting in the second round. I actually think Dallas probably wins against the Thunder, and now they're in the conference finals. Like, are they really going to fire their coach after that? Probably not, right? Like, and there's already talk soon. Like, it's so funny. You got the report that Jason Kidd is linked to the Lakers, and then 3 hours later, the report that Dallas is going to extend Jason Kidd, which I said it in the video when we talked about the report on Jason Kidd. I said, this to me just sounds like a leverage play for Jason Kidd. This sounds like hey, I want to get paid. I want to get extended. Let's throw out that, hey, maybe I'll go to the Lakers, right? You see it with players, you see it with agents, you see it with organizations, you see it all the time, right? How do you get your point across? You use the Lakers to your advantage. You use the Lakers to the leverage. But, so remove those two, right? Now, there's always the possibility that maybe one of these coaches, Billy Donovan or something like that, ends up getting fired, and maybe it's like, okay, well, that could be the guy. But we can't just assume that that's going to happen. Obviously, the Lakers are going to remain patient, right? Get through this season. As soon as this season's over, though, I expect immediately the Lakers kind of start doing their due diligence, start doing interviews. I wouldn't be surprised if they do interviews before that, but really, you want to get the coach ASAP. Right? You want to get the coach done before you get into the NBA draft, before you get into free agency. So before you start signing guys and before you start doing all the things that you need to do to start positioning yourself and getting ready for next season, you want to have your coach locked up, right? You want to be able to sit down with your coach. Okay, what about this guy? How do you feel about this guy? Okay, what kind of schemes are you trying to run? These free agents are available. Which one would you like us to try to attempt to get? Okay, we're working on these trades. Do you like these trades? What do you think of this player for what you're trying to do, right? You want your coach to be in the loop. You want your coach to at least have some kind of clear identity and idea of what to expect from the players on the roster. So get all that out the way, right? The more that I think about it, the more I think just sign JJ Redick, right? Just bring in JJ. Now, I know a lot of you, many of you are like, yeah, like JJ sounds great. I know a lot of people, it kind of seems split, right? A lot of people are kind of like, no JJ, yes JJ, right? To me, again, the more that I evaluate this and the more that I kind of go over the coaches that are available, you have like Kenny Atkinson that's like, he's probably my favorite out of all of them, right? So it's like, if they hired him, okay, like I'd be fine with that. But beyond that, it's like, Terry Stotts, like even Mike Budenholzer. I just feel like midway through the season, we're going to be like, it's Darvin Ham all over again, right? Because Darvin Ham was his protege. And do we really want to go through that again? Do we really want to get like the adult version of Darvin Ham? Like, the grown-up version, I guess, is probably a better way to put it, right? Like, to me, it's just, you're kind of going with the same, right? So there's a couple criteria points that the Lakers need to meet, in my opinion, to really have success from the head coaching position, right? You need somebody that understands the game. You need somebody that understands the X's and O's. You need somebody that understands the analytics in today's NBA. You need somebody that understands how lineup structure, and how to properly manage your players and rotations, right? You need somebody that is going to be well respected. You need somebody that's a player coach. You need somebody that's going to be a good locker room presence, and you need somebody that can manage the game from calling timeouts to proper adjustments and all those things, right? So you got these 10 criteria points that you need to check off. JJ Redick checks off all of them, but the in-game management, because he doesn't have the head coaching pedigree yet, right? We don't have any he did really good here. Right? But you think about it, right? He's going to be well respected. Players respect him. LeBron's going to respect him. And by LeBron respecting him and listening to him and kind of it being a collaborated effort, everyone's going to fall into place. Everyone's going to fall in a suit, right? He has the basketball mind. He has the understanding. He has the analytics. He has the actual in-game breakdowns. He knows players and understands the game, and especially from a modern standpoint, he understands the value of big men. He has the checklist up except for the in-game stuff. Properly calling timeouts, proper rotation structure, right? Proper lineup structure, right? How to properly, can he get the most out of guys, right? By believing in guys and putting them in the proper position. It's just the actual in-game coaching stuff. Most of the guys that are available right now all kind of have questions in that department. The other guys, you kind of know what you're going to get with, and it's not great, right? Except for maybe Kenny Atkinson. But he's very analytical, right? He's very by what the analytics say this, we do this, and we do not go off of that, right? So my concern is you have to build a very particular team, I believe, for Kenny Atkinson to really thrive, right? He really likes that, today's NBA, the floor spacing, ball movement, which is good. There's a lot of good that comes into that. And if you have the right pieces and you have the right components, it can really work. Problem is you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who you're going to run a lot of inside basketball. You're going to be, one of the more dominant interior teams, right? Where I don't know if he's going to, is he going to be willing to kind of run through LeBron and AD, or is he going to be kind of more perimeter oriented? And now LeBron and Anthony Davis are taking 5 threes again. There's questions with everybody that's available. The reason I lean towards JJ Redick is because I just think the ceiling with JJ is potentially higher, and I think if you get it right with him, now you have your head coach for the next 20 years. Right, you have your Greg Popovich, not in the sense of accolades and basketball pedigree, but in the sense of longevity as your head coach. It would be nice to not have to go through this every couple years, right? It would be nice to have somebody during the LeBron tenure, but also post LeBron tenure, where I kind of feel if it's a Mike Budenholzer or it's even a Kenny Atkinson or somebody if it's one of these other guys, I think it's just going to be in the moment while LeBron's on the roster. As soon as LeBron's gone, that's it. Now you're bringing in a new head coach, and we're going through this all over again. Where I believe the only question with JJ Redick is, can he actually perform as a professional head coach in the NBA? Right? Some of the other guys we know can, but again, the fit, right? The way that they have operated in other circumstances and other situations, is it the best for the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and a potential Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell or whatever other star, right? You also need somebody that can manage egos, that LeBron's going to respect and be a part of, right? You need somebody that Anthony Davis is going to respect to be a part of. If this is somebody that you're looking for beyond LeBron James, you also need Anthony Davis to really buy into that guy, right? It's just, I think 99, or we'll call it 90%, right? I think 90% of the checklist is checked off for JJ Redick. It's just, can he be a good quality head coach? Now, my thoughts is the way you offset that is, can you get maybe, say, a Terry Stotts, or, can you maybe convince a Kenny Atkinson to come in, right? Or kind of like maybe a little more defensive level coach, right? Like maybe somebody like that, like bring a defensive guy in that can maybe kind of balance, because JJ, I believe offensively will be an excellent head coach. I think he'll thrive as far as like coming up with offensive schemes. It's the defense side of things that I have a little questions. So to me, it's like, just hire JJ, right? Back him up with a experienced head coach, right? Again, that be it, Kenny Atkinson or, Terry Stotts, or somebody that understands the game and understands what it takes to be a head coach, so he can kind of help JJ where he needs it, right? Wherever JJ kind of needs it, it's like, okay, here you go. Kind of what was supposed to happen with Darvin Ham, but the Lakers just didn't do it because they let Darvin Ham pick his team. Like, fine. I would tell JJ, like, you can pick everybody. You can pick your own, assistants, pick your own coaches, but we got to get you that veteran head coach that understands to kind of help guide you throughout. So that way, when you do have your little hiccups, as most rookie head coaches do, boom, now you're good to go. That doesn't necessarily mean that he'll need it, right? There's been plenty of first-year head coaches that have had success. Not saying like winning a championship level success. There's only very few that have won it in their first year. Again, it's happened, but there have been some very good first-year head coaches that did really well and continue to proceed and continue to kind of develop and grow, right? So to me, I think JJ Redick will thrive. It's just those kind of like little nuanced things I think would be nice. So you get somebody like that, then you get that defensive-minded guy. Ideally, you get that all-in-one package. But you also got to convince one of these ex-former head coaches to now be an assistant behind a first-year head coach. How many guys are really signing up for that? But you may be able to convince them, like, hey, this would be a good opportunity. Like, look at, guys like Jason Kidd, right? Comes in and now he's the head coach of Dallas, right? He had a couple stints as a head coach, didn't work out for one reason or another. Boom, comes to the Lakers. Boom, immediately gets a new job, right? Like, you can kind of maybe shape that. Like, hey, you guys are you need to kind of figure something out. We need somebody at least for the first year with JJ Redick. Obviously, we'd love for you to stick around if it works out. But if you want to go to greener pastures and be a head coach again, fine, go do so. I just really lean towards it, and I think it's as much of a risk as it is everyone else, right? But like, I trust JJ more, and more than it, like, obviously Darvin Ham had his struggles, but also he lost the confidence of the players, which is always a bad thing. To me, I think JJ Redick is a guy that won't lose the confidence of the players. He's outspoken. He's not afraid, right? He'll get in your face or get in your grill, right? Like, it's one of the reasons why so many people want Ty Lue or Jason Kidd, right? JJ Redick checks off a lot of those boxes. It's just Jason Kidd and Tyronn Lue, they have the experience, so we trust them. We look at them and go, oh, wow, that guy is really good. But look at Tyronn Lue, right? Like, he goes first year with LeBron, wins it, and now he's looked at as, a top 5 coach in the league, right? So JJ Redick could potentially follow that blueprint. It's just, the big concern is just, can he manage the game properly from a coaching perspective, right? He's got everything else. It's just the coaching perspective. I would be willing to take the chance. Right? I'd be willing, because again, if there was some other, there was a coach that was that's clearly the guy. This is easy. Then yes, but it's like, and I said it in the very first video when they fired Darvin Ham. If it's JJ Redick or the field, I'm taking JJ Redick. And the more that I kind of evaluate and go over these guys and look at these guys, just go with JJ, right? Bring JJ in, right? I think LeBron will help him also from a schematic standpoint, right, which goes a long way. I don't think you'll have the challenges that LeBron presents. I think it'd be like having a Tyronn Lue where it's a collaborative effort, right? Like somebody that is going to be able to carry some weight. I think that that's the best approach. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? Do you think like, yeah, I mean, if it's the field, the coaches that are currently available, go with JJ Redick? Do you think no, you gotta, even if they're not great, you gotta go with that? I just don't want to go through this again. Right? So to me, it's like if you can get JJ and he hits, you got your head coach for however long. Hey, we don't have to worry about this anytime soon. But again, you get a Kenny Atkinson or you get a Mike Budenholzer or you get something like that. It's like, are we going through this again? Right? Like, it's just, and I just don't think that they're going to stick post LeBron, right? Where JJ, I think, would be one of the few because of his age, and if he's good, the Lakers would keep for the long haul. The Lakers would keep long term, and then he can kind of be a part of the organization. And then, of course, when LeBron gets the Vegas team, right? When LeBron starts the Las Vegas NBA team, JJ Redick probably goes to him. Hopefully not. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So when you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.